In today's video, I am making a big change to my outrageous 300mm Boostmonster bike that I probably should have done earlier. You see, I've always had this 10.5 inch by 3.5 inch stroke shock on the rear, giving me about 280mm of travel when it's in that 9-inch position, because the bike is originally supposed to have that smaller 9.5 inch shock in here. Now, one of the problems I've had with this setup is I felt the rear suspension was too linear, that I could still bottom out too easily, and there aren't really any stiffer coils available for these longer shocks. Plus, it did feel like the head tube was a little steeper than I preferred. Apparently it was around a 64.5 degree head tube angle, or according to my phone's angle meter, 64.2. When you're this high up, you really notice that steeper head tube angle. So what I actually want to try today is putting back the original smaller shock back on here.
That means it's now slacker on the head tube angle. So even in the steep head angle position, it's now slackened out to about 62.5 degrees with the Boostmonster.
And I also don't recall having bottom out problems with that original shock, so I'm hoping this can improve the ride. These old bikes do have some nice adjustability between 8 and 9-inch travel option and also a steep and a slack option. I did try the shock in both positions to see how it affected the head tube angle.
This is the slack head angle. So let's, that actually looks very slack, 60.2 degrees. So now let's move it back into the steep position. So you can see it is now in the lower holes, which pushes the bottom bracket up higher, which steepens the head tube angle. So this, according to my angle meter app on my phone, is showing about 62.4 degrees.
So I'm riding today with my friend Dimitro. He's got a Specialized Demo 9 with a Boostmonster, and now our bikes are very, very much the same.
So if we look here, looking at the head tube angle, they look almost identical. Both Boostmonster 300mm fork, two different frame designs, but they're both the same, 9 inches of rear travel. Only difference is he's got 24-inch wheels, old school Gazzolati tires, 3-inch wide, 24-inch. I got my 26-inch wheels here. So I'm excited to ride this bike with the slacker head tube angle.
Will I like this setup more, or will it be too slack for this super long fork? I don't want to cause unwanted stress on the frame or the fork with it being too slack.
Whoa, that is completely different. Okay. Whew. Oh my goodness. Good stuff. Missing a few
guys, I need new tires.
Yeah. All right, boys. Let's
go.
Try out Boogeyman. Sick. So yeah, first time ever trying out a slacker head angle on this bike. See, I was kind of afraid to try a slacker head angle for the longest time. I was just recommended to never go slacker than 64, just because of how long this fork is. But I don't know, Dimitro was always doing it, so now I'm going for it.
So for this video, I'm filming with the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 here, just attached to the chin of my full face helmet, as you can see. So I just zap strapped a J-mount hook here on the chin of my helmet. That's basically how I film pretty much all my POV videos. But this video is sponsored by Insta360, so I want to give a big thanks to them, and I want to show off the capabilities of the Ace Pro 2 in this video, particularly low light and audio capabilities. So for this video, as we ride Mount Seymour, we're going to ride into the sunset, and it's going to get really dark. So as the video goes on, you're going to really see how strong this camera handles the lower light scenarios. I also want you guys to pay attention to how the audio sounds coming from this camera. With a special windscreen that they added on here, which is a very smart addition, by the way, you can get really good wind reduced audio straight out of the camera. So we're just doing 4K 30 frames, HDR is turned off, stabilization is standard. For this particular video, I chose to shoot in flat mode, but I always make sure jitter blur reduction is on, and it ensures a faster shutter speed so that your footage does not look like mush. Sharpness is always set to low. White balance, honestly, I kind of switch back and forth between auto, and sometimes I set it to 5200 Kelvin. I also find negative 0.3 EV comp is generally the best one to go for. But I want to mention the audio settings for this camera. So we've got wind reduction, voice enhancement, and stereo. So I pretty much always keep it on wind reduction mode, but stereo mode can also work really well if there's no wind. Now, as the video goes on, I'm going to be switching to the pure video mode because that's what works really well in low light scenarios. So I'm going to let you know at what point I turn that on. I always have my affiliate code in the description of every video. So if you want to get this camera, make sure you order through my link and it'll help out the channel. Some more skinnies coming up. Optional though, but let's do this. So on one hand, yeah, I was always kind of wanting this bike to feel more slack. So now it is. Crap, almost. Oh shoot. I know I can do this. I got this, I got this. See? I got it. Even though yeah. Nice. There we go, you totally got it. Nice. Okay, rolling out of that feels hilarious. That thing is funny. Oh, a bit muddier here. Wow, it's so wet.
Yeah, nicely actually.
It's wild. Got a canoe ride. I love these things. That was working pretty well. And the conditions are definitely wetter than I'd prefer with this big bike. Man, this is freaking wet. But we got this. We totally got this. Oh yeah, and this part's easier. Nice. Crap. Oh, that's okay. You're doing it. Heck yeah. Nice. Mitro's getting these better. Nice.
Dude, so slippery.
Yeah, even this cedar wood with the natural grain is like pretty greasy.
The compression or rebound?
Rebound. Slowing down the rebound, I definitely needed that. I could tell it was like unstable. Let's make our way to the jumps, boogie nights. Okay, let's try some of the jumps here. Boogie nights. Crap, I'm like bottoming out the rear every time I drop. So I realized I didn't have enough air pressure in the canister on the rear shock. That's why I was bottoming out. So after this lap, I filled it up more and then it was perfectly fine the rest of the day. Nice. That was chill. Whoa. So the one downside with the slacker head angle is it does make the reach a little bit shorter, which is definitely not what I want. The two jumps I cleared felt really good. Yeah, I definitely got to keep my rebound on one of those slower settings. It's in the middle right now, so that's definitely going to help. You're in manual 550-200 white balance, 4K 60 frames, lap mode. Riding Severed D here was okay on this bike. It was a bit jank, a bit loose, not really ideal for this tall and short bike. Hard to say how much the slacker head tube angle was helping for this stuff. Some parts lower down were definitely more fun, but lower down, riding Empress was actually very nice on this bike.
All right, this is jank. Oh yeah, I remember this skinny line. Crap, I don't know about this. We got it, we got it. We got the whole thing. Oh, it's sick. In the wet. That's pretty cool. There we go. Got this. Dimitro. That's the hardest part. Oh. Come on, Dimitro. You got it. You got this. Oh no, bro! Oh, almost, dude.
That's what I said. I need new tire.
Yeah, oh man. Good effort. That was sick though. Yeah, and your tires don't seem too full at all. Like,
It's just too,
just
too hard
old.
right now, rubber, and it's not connected.
Well, not just this, but just all the rocks. I'm just feeling like squirmy and squirrely and like.
Yeah, same. In a rock, you're just like dancing every time. Like,
Yeah,
you can control it
pretty much. And my back tire will kind of drift out.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. Got really steep there. Sick. Whoa. Okay, whenever the back tire slides out, that is like sketch. Nice. I love it. I love this. I love this. So good. So good. So honestly, it's a bit hard to say right now how much I'm enjoying the slacker head tube angle. I kind of sort of forget. Like, I think slacker head tube angle is definitely good, but the conditions are just really slippery on any of the rocks and roots, so it's maybe a little hard to really measure all this.
All right, so unfortunately, I did not record me riding Empress, even though I really wish I did because it felt so good. I accidentally stopped recording and then resumed recording after the trail.
All right, sick. So I really felt quite confident that time on Empress. I was surprised. So maybe that was some of that slack head tube angle. Plus, I slowed down the rebound all the way. So I actually feel like it's a good combination of those things. It's a slower, janky trail. And to be honest, I have found that those more old school, slow, techie trails are better on the old school bikes. Once you start riding faster and faster, it's not as good for the old school geometry. But yeah, if you're doing slow stuff, it's like, you know what? You can ride old school bikes pretty well on those.
No.
I'm good to go up.
I can
go up.
Guys.
Though Dimitro would not join us for the last lap, he did drive us up, which is pretty awesome. And this is where I changed the camera into pure video mode.
Pure video mode, negative 0.7, 4K 60 frames. Let's race the sun down.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Okay, trying out incline again here. That was pretty sick. That was pretty sick. Yeah, that was fun. That was good. I like it. All right, lower incline. This part's loose.
By the way, I'm always doing the action view, which is the widest field of view. In pure video mode, I like to keep it on standard. Flat mode does not exist in pure video mode. And when it comes to the EV comp, yeah, I'll generally do -1 EV comp or -0.7. I really feel like, yeah, the slack head angle was working great on that, honestly. Like the bike really was better for that. I'll take the goggles off this time. Crap. So it's really getting dark here, as you can see. So we're just kind of racing our way down here, trying to make sure we still got light out. But the camera still performs quite well considering how dark it's getting. Forget it. I'm feeling pretty good, actually. So yeah, the sun is setting in like 10 minutes. So I got my pure video mode on the Ace Pro 2. So at least the footage will be usable. So this time we're gonna do the actual technical boogeyman exit instead of the jump line like we did last run. Boogeyman. Do you know if you've ridden this part before?
No.
No? It's kind of the gnarliest part of boogeyman. And there's just like, you can just follow my line. It's kind of the basic one with the Boostmonster. I don't believe I've ever ridden it with this bike at all in all the last like couple of years, which is a shame. Because this is pretty sick. Okay. All right, we're gonna go this way. This is kind of the main way that I know. That's just what we're gonna do. Oh, oh. Okay, crap. Crap, the rock was a little slick. Shoot. Yeah, but there are other routes. Dude, I slipped. Even like some of these lines look super fun too. Look at this. Oh, that looks awesome. Okay, let's go from here. Sick. Nice. Ah, that felt good. Empress, here we go. Honestly, I kind of am thinking of just doing this one line here. Man, it's kind of greasy though, shoot. Let's do it. Let's finish on Empress here. Let's do it. Just wanted to do this line. All right, I did it. That's so sick. Okay, we're going inside. Oh, that's way too awkward. Shoot. Inside is a little goof. goofy, but see, this is like super sick. Honestly, like I could handle that so well. That was like so good on this bike. Okay, that was a sick ride. Feeling good on the bike. Slack head tube angle was pretty nice. I always knew it would feel better with that generally, but now I just need a longer reach. But my fear honestly though is like, is that too slack? Because if I start hitting big drops with the slacker head angle, like, I don't know, there's just a lot more leverage on this fork. I don't want to start bending things and breaking head tubes, but this is a good experience. Well, that was actually a lot of fun, and you know what? I'm going to be riding this bike a little bit more now just because of the different geometry. Shout out to Insta360 for sponsoring the video. Check out the affiliate links in the description. If you want to watch another sick video on my Boostmonster, check this one out right here.